You never allowed yourself to collapse. You learned how to stand straight while bleeding quietly. You told yourself others had it worse, so yours didn't count. You folded your pain neatly, labeled it maturity, pushed it down until it learned how to whisper. That whisper follows you everywhere. In quiet rooms, in empty moments, right before sleep when you finally stop performing. It's not that bad. I should be grateful. Other people survive worse. Stop. That's not gratitude. That's denial wearing manners. You were hurt. You were overlooked. You were expected to endure without breaking, and you did. And you did. At a cost. A cost you keep paying in private. Interest compounding every night you pretend you're fine. It's funny, isn't it? How strong you look from the outside. I tried. I really tried. Of course you did. You tried so hard you forgot to rest. You tried so hard you forgot to ask. You tried so hard you forgot you're allowed to hurt. That's the anger you keep swallowing. The kind that doesn't explode. It corrodes. You feel it when you get quiet. When patience turns into resentment. When kindness feels like a trap. When your chest tightens because you know you've been carrying more than you ever admitted. Being broken doesn't make you weak. It proves you carried weight meant for more than one person. And now there's a choice. Keep carrying it like punishment or turn it into fuel. You don't heal by lying to yourself. You heal by naming what hurt, by admitting the cost, by deciding it ends here. You thought healing was soft? You thought it would ask politely? Healing is confrontation. Healing is boundaries. Healing is choosing to stop paying for yesterday with today. Forget the ones who benefited from your silence. Forget the rooms where you were strong so others could stay comfortable. Forget the habit of apologizing for your limits. You don't need permission to stand up. You don't need approval to change. You don't need to stay sick to prove you were hurt. Stand up. Not because it's easy, because you're done bleeding quietly. Take the anger. Shape it. Aim it. Aim it at the routine. Aim it at the discipline you avoided. Aim it at the work that rebuilds you piece by piece. You're not here to stay broken. You're here to become precise. Carry the lesson. Drop the wound. Move. Build. Turn this weight into strength now. There is a moment after the pain stops screaming. Not because it healed, but because it ran out of energy. That's where you are now. Not shattered, just quiet in a way that scares you. You learned how to carry yourself, how to keep moving, how to perform stability while something inside stayed unresolved. This isn't the anger that breaks things. This is the anger that remembers. The anger that keeps score without raising its voice. You don't talk about it. You don't explain it. You don't even complain anymore. That's not peace. That's compression. You compressed disappointment. You compressed grief. You compressed all the times you needed support and learned not to ask. Compression creates pressure. Pressure doesn't disappear. It waits. You feel it when small things irritate you more than they should, when patience feels heavy instead of virtuous, when silence doesn't calm you, it confronts you. That's the anger you're afraid of, not because it's violent, but because it's honest. Honest anger doesn't want revenge. It wants alignment. It wants your life to match your standards again. You didn't lose your strength. You delayed its use. You were taught to endure, not to transform. You survived things you were never meant to normalize. Survival kept you alive, but it's not meant to be permanent. There comes a point where endurance becomes betrayal, not of others, but of yourself. This is that point. You don't need to relive the pain. You don't need to talk about it endlessly. You don't need to bleed to prove it mattered. You need to decide what kind of strength comes next. Quiet strength. Disciplined strength. Strength that shows up consistently without drama. The kind that doesn't announce itself. The kind that doesn't ask to be understood. The kind that rebuilds from the inside outward. Broken things don't always need fixing. Sometimes they need reassembly with better boundaries. You stop explaining yourself to people who benefited from your silence. You stop overgiving to prove your worth. You stop confusing loyalty with self-erasure. This is where anger becomes useful, not loud, directed. You direct it into structure, into routine, into discipline that protects you instead of punishing you. You grieve quietly for the version of you that didn't know better. Then you let that version rest, because carrying old versions forever is another form of exhaustion. You don't owe anyone access to your recovery. You don't owe anyone the story. You owe yourself consistency. Consistency heals what emotion cannot. Consistency restores trust with yourself. Trust is what steadies the mind. And steady is what you need now. Not intensity, not chaos. You've done the dramatic survival already. You've paid that price. This phase is quieter and harder because it requires choice every day, without applause, without validation, without a crisis to push you. You wake up, you do what needs to be done. You protect your energy, you keep your word. That's how brokenness loses its grip. Not in a moment, but in repetition. You don't rise because you're healed. You rise because you're done waiting. Done waiting for permission. Done waiting for perfect conditions. Done waiting for the pain to disappear before you move. Movement comes first. Clarity follows. There's a specific kind of exhaustion that doesn't come from work. It comes from holding yourself together all day and falling apart only in private, quietly, invisibly, without witnesses. You call it being strong, but strength without relief becomes strain, and strain becomes a temperament. And then one day you look in the mirror and realize you've been living on survival settings for so long, you forgot what ease even feels like. That's where the regret sneaks in. Not dramatic regret, not the kind you confess in speeches, just a steady, simmering realization that time moved and you didn't move with it the way you wanted. You didn't fail because you lacked value. You failed because you kept postponing your own rescue in the name of being reasonable. Reasonable became your favorite disguise. I'll do it when things calm down. I'll focus when I feel better. I'll rebuild when I'm not tired. And life doesn't calm down on command. That's why you must learn to move while it's messy, to build while it's heavy, to stay steady while the inside of you still hurts. You don't need to erase the past. You need to stop paying it rent in your present. You can acknowledge what happened without rehearsing it every night. You can remember without reopening the wound. That's what maturity looks like, not numbness, not pretending you're fine, but the ability to hold pain in one hand and still do the next right thing with the other. Because the next right thing is how you reclaim dignity. Dignity is not a feeling, it's a pattern. Start treating your recovery like a responsibility, not a mood, not something you earn only after you collapse. If you keep waiting until you deserve to care for yourself, you'll wait forever, because your standards will always move the finish line. So you make it non-negotiable, a bedtime you respect, a morning that doesn't begin with chaos, a focus block you defend even when you don't feel inspired, a simple routine that tells your nervous system we are safe enough to work. The mind heals when it stops being whipped from distraction to guilt to distraction again. It heals when you give it structure. And yes, you will have to let go of certain people in your head, not physically, mentally. The ones you keep trying to impress long after they stopped caring. The ones you keep replaying arguments with. The ones you keep giving your energy to through resentment. Resentment feels like control, but it's just attachment in armor. It keeps you connected to what hurt you. Let the connection die. Not because you forgive everything, not because it didn't matter, but because you refuse to live chained to it. Now the shift. You stop trying to feel whole before you act whole. You act. You return. You keep small promises. You build stability through repetition, even while the inside is still tender. That's how you become real again. You don't need a big transformation. You need a daily return. Return to the work. Return to the standard. Return to the simplest version of discipline. Do what you said you would do. Then let that evidence rebuild your trust. Slowly, honestly, without lies. Broken doesn't mean finished. Broken means you finally see what's been costing you, so you stop pain. You choose structure over drift. You choose consistency over mood. You choose the next right action, again and again and again, until the pain no longer holds the steering wheel and your life starts to feel like it belongs to you. Not because it became easy, but because you became steady enough to carry it without disappearing. One decision at a time. That's the phrase your mind hates, because it offers no fantasy, no shortcut, just responsibility. When you feel broken, responsibility can feel unfair. Like life already took too much and now it wants more. That's a real feeling. But here's what's also real. The world doesn't refund time because you suffered. It just keeps moving. So you do something radical. You stop begging the past for permission to live. You stop saying, I can't move until I understand everything that happened. I can't focus until I'm fully healed. I can't build until I feel safe. You build so you can feel safe. You focus so you can heal. You move so you can understand. Because staying still doesn't protect you. Staying still just keeps you in the same place where the damage happened. Same room, same patterns, same excuses. Movement changes the room. Movement changes the mind. Movement changes your identity. And no, movement doesn't erase the pain. It gives the pain a place to go. It turns it into momentum instead of a prison. This is what getting better actually looks like. Not smiling more, not pretending you're fine. Doing the basics even when you're not. Drinking water. Sleeping on time more often than not. Eating in a way that doesn't punish your nervous system. Taking a walk. Cleaning one small area so your mind stops drowning in disorder. And yes, working. Even if the work is slow, especially if it's slow. Because slow work is honest work. Slow work is how you rebuild trust with yourself. Trust is what you're missing. Not motivation, not talent. Trust. You don't trust yourself because you've left yourself too many times. You promised and didn't show up. You started and didn't finish. You needed you, and you weren't there. That's painful. Not dramatic pain, real pain. The pain of being disappointed by your own decisions. So you stop doing that. Not by hating yourself, not by punishing yourself, by practicing return. Return is simple. It's not emotional, it's not poetic, it's mechanical. You drift, you notice, you come back. You don't explain, you don't collapse, you come back. Do that enough times and your mind learns he means it. He returns. That's how you rebuild a broken self without needing a miracle. That's how you become steady. Steady doesn't look impressive. Steady doesn't feel exciting. Steady is what lasts. And you need what lasts now. You've had enough of temporary highs and temporary comfort. You need something that holds. So choose a standard you can keep on your worst day. Not your best day, your worst. 10 minutes of focus. 1 page of study. 1 small workout. 1 clean meal. 1 early bedtime. Minimum discipline, maximum dignity. That's the combination that saves you when you feel broken. Because being broken isn't the end. It's the moment you stop pretending and start building something real, quietly. 1 decision at a time. When you feel broken, noise feels safer than silence. Silence leaves you alone with what you avoided. That's why you filled every gap before. But silence is also where you stop leaking energy, where your thoughts slow down enough to be useful, where you hear what actually matters. You wasted enough strength fighting yourself, enough nights arguing with your own mind. That war ends here. You don't defeat the mind, you organize it. Organization looks boring. It's lists, it's routines. It's doing the same small things even when they don't impress you. That boredom is medicine. You were never lazy. You were overwhelmed and scattered. There's a difference. And being scattered makes you doubt yourself. Doubt makes you hesitate. Hesitation makes you miss chances. The cycle feeds itself. So you interrupt it. Not with force, with clarity. 1 clear priority per day. 1 thing that matters more than the rest. Everything else becomes secondary. You don't chase productivity, you protect priority. This feels lonely at first, because you stop reacting like everyone else, because you stop participating in chaos. Let that loneliness exist. It doesn't mean you're wrong. It means you're choosing differently. Different choices create distance. Distance creates clarity. Clarity creates calm. Calm is not the absence of pain. Calm is the absence of unnecessary struggle. And you've been adding struggle for years. You don't need to carry everything. You don't need to respond to everything. You don't need to prove anything anymore. Proving drained you. Explaining drained you. Surviving drained you. Now you can serve. You choose what deserves your energy. You stop giving it away to things that don't build you. That includes people, situations, old patterns that keep you small. Let them go without drama. You don't announce boundaries. You enforce them quietly, consistently. And consistency does something subtle. It rewrites how you see yourself. You stop asking, can I handle this? You start assuming, I'll deal with it. That shift matters. It's the difference between fear and steadiness, between collapse and endurance. You don't need to be fearless. You need to be reliable. Reliable with your mornings. Reliable with your work. Reliable with your rest. Reliable with yourself. Self-reliability is rare. That's why it's powerful. That's why it changes lives quietly. One day you'll notice it. Not in a mirror, not in applause, in how little effort it takes to keep going. The pain won't vanish, but it won't control you anymore. It becomes background. What comes forward instead is resolve, the calm kind, the kind that doesn't shake. And that's how broken becomes rebuilt. Not all at once, not loudly, but permanently. You're beginning to notice something. The pain isn't gone, but it's no longer steering. That's unfamiliar. You spent so long letting hurt decide the pace, letting exhaustion write the rules. Now the rules are quieter, simpler, harder to argue with. This is where real change starts to feel lonely. Not dramatic loneliness, mature loneliness. Because you stop explaining yourself. You stop justifying why you're tired. You stop narrating your struggle to earn permission. You simply do what needs to be done, without witnesses, without comfort. Part of you misses the old chaos, the noise, the emotional storms that made everything feel important. That wasn't importance. That was intensity without direction. Direction feels dull at first because it doesn't spike adrenaline. It builds momentum. Momentum doesn't announce itself. It accumulates quietly. You start finishing things, not perfectly, consistently. And finishing changes you. It removes that constant background shame, the feeling of being behind. That shame kept you frozen. It whispered that effort was pointless. That voice loses strength now, because evidence replaces doubt. Small evidence. Real evidence. You kept a promise. You returned after drifting. You didn't disappear when it got heavy. That matters more than you realize. That's how self-trust is rebuilt, brick by brick. You're not trying to feel better anymore. You're trying to be stable. Stability doesn't collapse under bad moods. It doesn't negotiate with excuses. It holds. Holding is the skill you never practiced. You escaped instead. Understandable, but finished. You don't escape anymore. You stay. Staying doesn't mean you like it. It means you respect yourself enough not to run. That's different. Respect grows slowly, but once it's there, you don't trade it cheaply. That's why distractions start to feel empty. Not tempting, empty. Hollow. They can't compete with a life that's being built, even slowly. You're still healing, just not loudly, not performatively. Healing through action, through order, through repetition. This kind of healing doesn't look impressive. It doesn't attract sympathy. It attracts results. Results calm the mind. Calm creates space. Space allows growth. You're not chasing happiness. You're building capacity. Capacity to handle silence. Capacity to handle boredom. Capacity to handle responsibility. Capacity to handle yourself. That's adulthood. That's strength without noise. That's how broken becomes durable. You won't feel fixed. You'll you'll feel steady. And steady outlasts everything. Keep going. This is working. Don't romanticize the past. Build the next day, then the next, then the next. That's how you leave broken behind. There's a strange relief in this stage. Not joy, not hope. Relief from pretending. You stop asking yourself whether you're okay. You stop checking your emotional temperature every hour. You accept that some days are simply heavy and still usable. That acceptance is new. You used to fight the weight. You used to dramatize it. Now you carry it correctly. Carrying it correctly means it no longer spills into everything. It doesn't hijack your voice. It doesn't poison your decisions. It stays contained. Contained anger is powerful. It doesn't rush. It doesn't threaten. It builds. This is where people misunderstand you. They think you've gone cold. You haven't. You still feel deeply. You just stopped letting feelings drive the wheel. They sit beside you now. You stopped explaining yourself. Stopped justifying your pace. Stopped asking to be understood. Understanding is nice. Alignment is necessary. Alignment feels quieter than approval, less addictive, more stable. You notice how much energy you used to waste managing perceptions, saying the right thing, being easy, smoothing edges that didn't need smoothing. You don't do that anymore. Not out of spite, out of conservation. Energy is finite. You learned that the hard way. Now you spend it intentionally. Intention doesn't look exciting. It looks repetitive, predictable. You wake, you do what you planned. You don't add unnecessary weight to the day. You close what you open. Closing loops gives your mind rest. Not escape, rest. The kind that actually restores. That's why your sleep slowly improves. Your thoughts don't chase you as hard. There's less unfinished business whispering at night. You still remember what broke you, but you don't live there anymore. Memory without residence. That's progress. Real progress. Progress doesn't announce itself. It shows up as fewer apologies to yourself, fewer promises you don't keep, fewer moments where you feel ashamed of your own avoidance, fewer nights where you replay the same regret, fewer excuses. You start to respect your own word again. Not because it's perfect, but because it's consistent. Respect changes posture, changes how you speak, changes what you tolerate. You tolerate less chaos, less emotional noise, less self-betrayal. And that scares some people, because chaos was how they accessed you. Calm denies that access. Let them misunderstand. You're not here to be easy anymore. You're here to be stable, to be dependable, to be solid. Solid doesn't mean numb. It means grounded, anchored. anchored people don't get dragged by every wave. They adjust. They endure. Endurance used to sound like suffering. Now it sounds like capability. Capability is what you were missing. Not passion, not intensity. Capability. The ability to show up even when the feeling isn't there. The ability to finish even when no one claps. The ability to keep going without a story. There's another shift you haven't named yet. It happens quietly. So quietly you almost miss it. You stop asking, what's wrong with me? That question used to echo everywhere. It drained you. Now the question changes. It becomes, what needs to be done next? That question doesn't invite pity. It doesn't invite analysis. It invites action. Action used to scare you because action meant responsibility. Responsibility meant you couldn't hide behind confusion anymore. But confusion was never protection. It was a delay tactic. You stayed confused because confusion allowed rest without resolution. It let you pause without choosing. It felt safer than clarity. Clarity demands standards. Standards demand consistency. Consistency exposes truth. And truth is heavy. Not cruel, heavy. It sits on your shoulders and waits. But here's what you're learning now. Weight carried correctly builds strength. You were never meant to carry everything at once. That's why you broke. You carried without structure. Structure doesn't remove weight, it distributes it. It makes it manageable. That's why routines start to matter. Same wake time, same work window, same shutdown ritual. Predictability as support, not control for the sake of control. Control as care. You start caring for yourself differently. Not with indulgence, not with excuses, with follow-through. Follow-through is respect in motion. It tells your nervous system, I've got you. And slowly, it believes you. Belief doesn't come from words. It comes from patterns, repeated evidence. You notice your reactions soften, not because life is easier, because you're steadier. Things still hurt. They just don't knock you over anymore. You absorb them. Absorption is a skill. You didn't have it before. You were porous. Everything leaked in. Opinions, expectations, disappointments. No filter. Now you filter. You choose what matters. You let the rest pass. That selectivity looks cold to outsiders. They mistake boundaries for distance. Let them. You're not withdrawing. You're stabilizing. Stability used to sound boring, like settling. It isn't. Stability is what allows growth without collapse. It's what lets you build without breaking again. It's what keeps you upright when things shake. You start planning differently. Fewer goals, clearer priorities, more execution. You stop trying to fix your life. You start managing your days. Days are manageable. Lives feel overwhelming. That distinction saves you. You win days. Days turn into weeks. Weeks rebuild direction. Direction heals what motivation never could. Direction quiets the mind. Direction reduces regret. Regret doesn't vanish. It fades when it's no longer being fed. You stop feeding it with avoidance. You still remember what you lost, but you stop losing new things. That matters. You stop bleeding forward. You stop letting yesterday tax tomorrow. You contain the damage. Containment is maturity. It's not exciting. It's effective. There's a clarity now that didn't exist before. Not optimism, not excitement, just knowing where you stand. You stop romanticizing the damage. You stop replaying it like it's proof of depth. You let it be what it was. Information. Information changes behavior. Stories keep you stuck. You're done with stories. You no longer ask why it happened. You ask what it taught you. That shift matters. What it taught you was simple. You can't live without structure. You can't survive on emotion alone. You need something solid to lean on. So you build it, day by day, without waiting to feel inspired. Inspiration used to be your excuse. When it disappeared, so did your effort. That pattern is finished. Now effort comes first. Feeling follows, or doesn't. Either way, you move. Movement is what keeps you from collapsing inward. Stillness used to trap you. Now it steadies you. You sit with yourself without panic, without reaching for distraction immediately. You tolerate silence. Silence no longer accuses you. It reflects you. That's progress. You stop chasing validation. You stop needing others to confirm your worth. Your actions do that now. Action doesn't lie. It leaves evidence. Evidence calms the mind. You start trusting yourself again. Not blindly, practically. Trust doesn't come from hope. It comes from repetition. You repeat what works. You protect your mornings. You narrow your priorities. You stop overloading your days. Overload was how you escaped responsibility. If everything mattered, nothing had to be finished. You don't do that anymore. Fewer goals, clear standards, follow through. Follow through changes how you see yourself. You stop seeing someone trying. You see someone reliable. Reliability builds self-respect. Self-respect builds calm. Calm builds endurance. Endurance is what carries you through ordinary days. Ordinary days build extraordinary stability. Stability was always the goal. You don't crave escape anymore. You crave order. Order gives you room to breathe. Breathing feels different now. Slower, deeper. You don't tense at every obstacle. You assess, then you act. That's maturity, not age. Response. You respond instead of react. You choose instead of drift. You continue instead of quitting. Some days are still heavy. You don't deny that. You manage it. Management keeps you upright. Upright keeps you moving. Moving keeps you alive. Alive, not surviving. Present, not escaping. Engaged. You're not chasing a different life anymore. You're shaping this one. Deliberately. Shaping takes time. Time takes patience. You have that now. Patience doesn't mean waiting. It means working without panic. You learned that. And when doubt returns, because it will, you won't spiral. You'll check your structure. You'll return to basics. You'll keep going. Keeping going is no longer heroic. It's normal. That's the difference. Normal discipline. Normal effort. Normal stability. This is the life after broken. Not louder, stronger. And now that you've built this, don't abandon it.